Okay, Shavua Tov, everyone.
Shavuot Tov.
Shavua Tov, Meirka. How are you? Okay. What I'd like to do is, as we started the piece last week with the Golus from Rav Dessler, I would like to continue with it. It's a very fascinating, a deep piece. So if you're up to it, we'll continue with that. And you let me know if you want to switch it up. But let's make an attempt. Okay. So the Reb Dessler says like this. It says Kfar B'Yarnu, we've already discussed. Look, each nation that the Jewish people have interacted with have a unique quality to them. There's a uniqueness to each nation. When that nation uses that quality in a negative way, that quality is used as the main contradiction to Kedusha. Therefore, each nation has a unique way that they fight Kedusha. And that's unique to them. And it continues to develop it. Chazal have described it to us when we have the pasuk, which we'll get to in Dvarim at the very end, in Zos HaBracha. It says, Vayomer Hashem mi Sinai, that Hashem appeared from Sinai. Chazal say like this, Kishenigla hamokom litein Torah l'Yisrael, a famous idea that we're all familiar with. When Hashem revealed himself to give the Torah to the Jewish people, Lo al Yisrael bilvad nigla, it wasn't only to the Jews that he revealed himself. Ela al kol ha'umos, Hashem revealed himself to all the nations. Betchila, originally halach l'bnei Esav, first he went to the descendants of Esav. V'amal, and he told them, Mekablim atem es Torah, are you going to accept the Torah? Amru lo, so they said to him, Maksiv, but what is written in the Torah? Amalhem, he told them, Lo tirtzach, you cannot commit murder. Amru lo, so they responded, Kol atzman shel osan hanoshim, the whole essence of these people is, and their progenitor, he was a murderer. Shenema, like it says, Vayayadai midei Esav. The hands are the hands of Esav. Valkach ivticho aviv, and this was the promise that their father gave them. Valchar b'chatichi, you will live by the sword. So that's Esav. Halachalo Esav b'nei Ammon and Moab went to Ammon and Moab. Amar, let me tell them, are you going to accept the Torah? Amar lo, what does the Torah say? It says, Lo sinap, you cannot commit adultery. Amar lo kol atzma shel erva shelahem he. Their whole essence is arayas. Halach Mot says Bnei Yishmael went to Bnei Yishmael. Amar lo, what does the Torah have? Lo signov, you cannot steal. Amar lo kol atzman shelavim listim hay. He was a bandit. Lo hayasu uma ba'umos. There was no nation shelaholach v'davar al pischa that Hashem kilu knocked on the door. In Yirtzu, are they willing? Will they accept the Torah? Yochel shimu v'kiblu. Do you think that they would accept? Talmud Lomer va'osim lo ta'asu. They did not do. So he says over here of Dessler, Shonehi hisnagdusim shel Ammon and Moab v'Yishmael el Torah. There was a difference in the rejection of Ammon and Moab and Yishmael to the Torah. Mi hisnagdusim shel b'nei Esav. Then was Esav's rejection. Ammon and Moab Yisrael lo kiblu es Torah mishum kol atzma shel erva shalem. Ammon and Moab said because their whole essence is arayas. And Yishmael said their whole essence is listim, that they're thieves. Perish, what does that mean, kol atzma? What does it mean that their whole essence? It says, kachi mitzuyusim hapnimius, this is their inner essence. Zuhi migdosam, this is their nature. Hatayva v'chemdas hamamon, the desire for money is their essence. V'heimasher im onum, and that is going to hold them back, that will restrain them. Mikabolos ol Torah mitzvahs. That will not allow them to accept Torah and mitzvahs. Aval b'nei Esav, but when it comes to Esav, kol atzman rotzeach Esav is murder. Klomar meaning, midas gausim, their haughtiness. Koach mushroshos benoshim, that is something that is embedded in their inner neshamas. Harotzon lishlot, that the desire to have power. Chazak kol kach is so intense. Ad she'etzim kiyumo shel acher, that any other nation existing is a mafriya, is a deterrent legausam, to their haughtiness, ushiltosim, and to their dominion. Zeo makor yetzer haretzicha. This is the essence of murder. Shelahem hargoshes ani va'apsi od. It's me and no one else. V'shilton kochi v'yotzim yodi. This idea of power. Hema shemonu mibinei Esav. This is what prevented Esav from Kabbalas Torah. Mikan novas his nagdusim el Am Yisrael. That's why Esav has such an enmity towards Am Yisrael. Mekabli HaTorah, who accepted the Torah of Meshach Kol Hadoros throughout all the generations. Ka'amor, so what do we see here? Kefi hishtanus mida hatuma, depending on the difference of the tuma of the nations, kain mishtane hisnagdusha ela kedusha, so too is their deterrent to kedusha. Hanisayon ha'ikari shel hagolus, the essential test of the exile bekerev osuma, when we are in a certain nation or a certain environment, ulamod keneged hashpa'osa, is to stand up against its influence. Holach hamachshavos, the way they think. V'derech hachayim, their lifestyle. Shenohegesbo, that they live in. Ulischazek betokef, and to hold on tightly, ba'oz ruach b'derech haTorah, to hold on to the Torah approach to life and avodas Hashem. This is the test of the Golus, to be able to withstand the pressures of the society that we are living amongst. Ma mevi l'shini ofi hagolus, what brings to the different exiles that we have been subjected to? He says, Hagolus magbila, the Golus parallels the tochen hachatoyim asher behem nichshelu Yisrael, corresponding to the sins that the Jews have been nichshal in, that they have slipped in. Zuhi aderech asher bo yuchal lios hatikun. That's how we need to correct ourselves. Hashalem, the complete correction for those sins, is to live in a society that lives that way, and for our rejection of it. Ulitaher legamri mizuhu masam, and to clean ourselves, purifies ourselves completely from its zihum, its infection. Af hayochid, similarly an individual, sherotza lachzer b'tshuva, who's looking to come back to do tshuva. Hinei kasher yizdamin lo matzav hama'oral oso chet, when a person is in a situation that will arouse that sin. Va'az hasotas hayetzer goveres, the seduction of the yetzer is so strong, u'mitchazekes, and comes on so powerfully. V'ayim yamod b'tokev keneged, if the person is able to withstand that pressure. V'lo yispata, and he will not be seduced to the yetzer hara. Bezehu okil legamri, that's how someone uproots completely. As pagama chet, that's how a person can remove the blemish of that sin. Umatayr es nafsho mizu hamosa, and he has purified his neshama from that infection. Zoe atshuva hashlema, this is the total tshuva, like it's brought down in the Gemara in Yuma, as it brings down. Okay, so this is that's in general. So now he's going to continue his development over here of the different golios that we have been subjected to. So he says like this: Terem nigash lahazbir et maus hagolios hashonot. Says, before we look at the to try to understand what were the different exiles, tzrichem anu lahafir, we first have to clarify as hatzir hamerkazi, what is the linchpin. Shol told us ha'anushas, he was going to go through all of man's history. Meireshis yamah, from the beginning, from the dawn of history, ad achras hayamim, until the end of days. Toldos ha'anushos, heim hishtalshalus ha'aliyos v'ha'yiridos, all of the generations with its aliyahs, its uplifting, v'ha'yiridos, and its downfalls, but are what? Betikun chet adam harishon, are all an attempt to correct the sin of man, of Adam Harishon. Tikun zeh nofel bechelkel shalam Yisrael. The Jewish people were those that were picked in order to correct, to undo the damage of the sin of Adam Harishon. V'hu tafkido bebriya. This is our destiny. This is our mission statement, in order to correct the sin of Adam Harishon. Al Yedei Am Yisrael Yachzer El Madrigoso, and when the Jewish people will return to the level of Adam Harishon before the sin, which is how he's defining it as Madregas Gan Eden, which is when Adam Harishon was in Gan Eden. V'yala Od Misham, and the Jews will go even higher than that. Yavihu Es Kol Habriya, the Jews will bring all of creation. Lidei Tachlisa, we will bring it to its perfection, to its destiny, Hashlema, to its total destiny. That is our mission statement. Adam Harishon hayakodim cheto bedargas Gan Eden. Now he's describing Adam Harishon. Adam Harishon before the sin was on a level of Gan Eden. In Kfar Hizbarnu, we've already explained. Shuhikir, what does that mean? What is Adam Harishon Gan Eden? It means Shuhikir shaharuchnius. Adam Harishon understood, he recognized that spirituality, he hamitzius, that is the reality. That spirituality is the true reality. V'hageshem, meaning our physicalness, hu ach levush, it's an attire, it's a cover-up. Shemastir et hametzias ha'amiti, it's something that's covering up the true reality. The true reality is the spiritual. The physical is just a cover to that. Who kibel es mezono Adam Harishon, received his sustenance. For kol chiyuso me olam haruchani, all of Adam Harishon was ruchani, just as the Jews were on Gatman. Li hester hagashmis, there was no hiddenness of physicalness before Adam Harishon sinned. Everything was completely, it was what we call, it was transparent. You could see the ruchnius. Like Chazal say, Malachim hayu tzolin lo basar, in this metaphor, that the Malachim were roasting for Adam Harishon the meat, Masanin lo yayin, and they were making wine for Adam Harishon, obviously being a metaphor. That was all before the sin. That everything from Adam Harishon was total ruchani. And Kivan shechot, but once Adam sinned, Nichnas bo Yetzer hara, and then there was the internal Yetzer hara, Zuhumaso shal hanochash, the impurity, the poison of the nochash. Vahorid es kol ha'olam lematzav shal hester. Now the world became opaque. There was no longer transparency anymore. You couldn't see the ruchnius in the world. It wasn't apparent. It was blocked. Ad shenidma, until it got you got the impression, kilo hageshem hu hametzius, so that we think now that the physicalness, that is the true reality, and not the spirituality. Zuhi haklola shel bezeias hapech toch halechem. That's what it meant. That was the curse of bezeias hapech toch halechem. Klomar, what does that mean? Shenasa hester shel teva. There's now going to be this hiddenness of what we call nature. Hester shel siba u'mesuhav, there's going to be cause and effect. Shemaster es yad Hashem, this is going to hide the hand of Hashem, mitachas ma'ateh shel chumrios, underneath a cover of physicalness. Tikun chet Adam harishon hu. So what is going to be the correction of that sin? Shodem yishtadil latseis. Man is going to make efforts to leave, ulehisalos, and to uplift oneself. Mial hester ze, above this hiddenness, shel hateva of nature, v'shel kochev yotzim yodi, and that of this cause and effect of my power. Shabo choshev ha'odem, man thinks, lihishtalet al hateva, that man has control. Ad sheyavchin barur, until he comes to a clear awareness, v'hakor pnimius, an internal awareness. Shaharuchnius raki hametzias, spirituality is the true reality. Uklapeha ein legeshem mamoshas amitis, and in comparison to it, the physical is not true. But notzer achlen nisayin, it's merely here as a test. Kamo halavush hagashmi, just like physical clothing, shalovshu shlosha malachim, like the clothing that the malachim wore when they came to Avram Avinu, im gam shohaya efshal lemashosho, even though you could feel it, you could touch those clothes, but calls those einu mitziyusam, that's not their reality of these malachim. Elohurak tofa'ah cholefes overis, it's a temporary appearance, it's an apparition. L'shem milish lichusam, merely to in order to fulfill their mission. So this is the broad picture. So now he moves on to the Avos and the Jewish people. Tchilas tikun hachet Adam harishon. What was the beginning of the correcting of the sin of Adam harishon? Avodas ha'avos hagedoshim, came through Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Ushleimus b'china zu, and their perfection. Husoga al yedei Yaakov. Yaakov being the third of the Avos, number 3, he is the one that reached that perfection. Like Chazal tell us in Bereshis Rabbis, he says, Sha'avram nitzal mikiv shana eish. Avram Avinu was saved from the furnace, b'schus Yaakov, in the merit of Yaakov, like it says in the Pasuk in Yeshayahu. L'chein ko amar Hashem al beis Yaakov, so too we will say to the house of Yaakov, Asher who redeemed Avram. Koloma, what does that mean? And Reb Dessler tells us, Shavodas Avram, that which Avram Avinu worked at, Bal Shleimuso, came to its fruition through Yaakov. Avram Avinu started the work, and it came to its fruition in Yaakov Avinu. Like Yaakov, it says, Vayavo Yaakov Shalem. Yaakov reached a perfection. Etzlo hayasa kvar bechina shel shleimus ba'avodas haruchnias. Yaakov reached a perfection in spirituality, shehuskola al yedei Avram, which started with Avram Avinu, and Yaakov brought it to its fulfillment. However, he brings down Rav Dessler, achadayin ein zu hashleimus hagmura. This still did not reach the end goal. Shel tikun chet Adam harishon. This did not reach the end goal. Why is that? Ki chet Adam harishon haya bebechinas klal. A very important idea is telling us now, because Adam harishon's sin was something that infected mankind as a whole. Shaharei b'nishmoso, because in Adam harishon's neshama, hayu kalulos, neshamos kol hadoros kulam. Adam harishon had within him all of mankind, from beginning to end. Everything was in Adam harishon. Ad sof kol olam, until the end of time. Ki alav haya mutal tikun. Adam harishon's test, the test of Adam harishon, not to eat from the Eitz Hadas. That test had in it tikun kol habriya. Within that one test was going to be the perfection of all of creation. And therefore, with that failing, there needs to be that attempt again. So, and therefore, ach tikun ha'avos, whereas the tikun of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, culminating with Yaakov, ha'yirak bebechinas prat. The avos were just individual. They were not an entire, they were not a world. Afal pi shal Avram nema, even though it mentions by Avram Avinu, it tells us in Pirkei Avos, says that when Avram Avinu accomplished what he accomplished, it says, Notel schar keneged kulam. Avram Avinu got the schar of all the generations that preceded him, all the 10 generations from Noach until Avram. Avram Avinu got all that schar, so seemingly Avram Avinu was Mesakein all of those generations. So he wants to say, Shu tikun begilui avodoso hatahora. It was a tikkun in his open service, as kol masha hechsiro kol hadoros. Avram Avinu was able to correct all of what was lacking in those generations until he came. Mikol makom, nevertheless, he wants to emphasize again, ein zel a tikkun haklal ayadei prat. It's a tikkun through an individual. Aval adayin choser hatikun bebechinas klal. In order to reach the end goal, there needs to be a tikkun of Adam through an entire people. Kvar b'yarna, we've already explained, he says, sheina klal.
Rabbi, what does that mean, tikkun bechlal? What, like,
No,
how would you express
look what he said. Yeah, okay, so look at, in other words, again, we're going to need an entire nation in order to bring the world back to its tikkun. Again, Adam HaRishon had within him all of humanity. And therefore, it's as if humanity as a whole became corrupt. And therefore, there needs to be a resurgence of Kedusha through Ki'ilu of a humanity, not just as an individual. I mean, I'm not so, I guess I'm not doing justice to the statement, but give him another line here and then you'll see what he's trying to say, or at least through a negative, because he says like this. He says, She'ein haklal, don't look as a klal, as a generality or as a group, rak ribuy shel avodas yechidim bilvad. It's not, when we look at it as a klal, like a minion, let's say, or something like that, it's not just a lot of individuals serving Hashem. That's not what it means. When we have a klal, it's not just a lot of individuals. It's not 1 + 1 + 1. That's not what it is. It's like you have in English, what do we say? The sum is greater than, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That's what the idea is he's trying to say over here, that the whole is greater than just the individuals. El al yedei avodas rabim, when a group does an avoda, mu'uchedes, when it's united, mithaveh, it creates a gilui ruchani, it creates a revelation of ruchnius, chadash, on a new level, v'nisgav, on a much higher level. It's new, it's a different reality, and it's on a much higher level. So again, I guess, I don't know if I'm doing it justice, but that's what he's trying to say over here. Avram Avinu, with all of his greatness, was still just an individual. We need, in order, because since again, Adam HaRishon was all of mankind, and because Adam sinned, the tikkun can only come through if you're going to have a klal that's going to do avodas Hashem. She'echuso, the quality, ola bekiflei kiflayim. Again, it's like what he's saying, what we say in English. Again, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Lein orach, it's on a much different level. Al sikum hakamus, when you add up the numbers, shel avodas v'gilui hayechidim, much more so than just adding the 1 + 1 + 1. It's much greater than that. Is that okay, Brian?
Sort of. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Okay, well, we're all in the same boat.
I'm just trying to, I mean, when you say, what I'm trying to figure out is you were trying to bring the Kedusha as a whole. So does that just mean learning Torah? Does that?
He hasn't discussed that at all yet. We'll say it means living a life of, it means, we'll say again, it's, again, what he was talking about was up until now, he's saying again, Adam HaRishon understood that everything is Ruchani.
Right.
The world, right? Now, as we as Jews have to bring out the awareness of a Kodesh Baruch Hu in the world. That's we're an Or Olam, right? We are the light unto the nations. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to bring all of creation back to that awareness of the Creator. In other words, again, what happened with Adam HaRishon is everything became opaque. You couldn't see the Creator anymore. By us living the way we do and with the connection with Hashem, had we done, there was a very nice statement I once heard from Rabbi Shore, that was pointing out, in other words, I'm sure you've heard these ideas before. Had the Jewish people done what, had they not made the sins that they did, we would have gone into Eretz Israel. We would have been like a magnet he brings down. There's like a magnet attracts everything. We would have attracted all of this spirituality. We wouldn't have needed to go. Like many people say that our goal is, again, to try to impact the nations of the world with this awareness of Hashem. That's looking at the goalus from a positive perspective. And as we need to be out there in order to collect the sparks of Kedusha that are there amongst the different nations. And had we not sinned, we would have remained in Eretz Yisrael, and we would have attracted it through its own, they would have attracted it naturally. So he continues, Kosuv HaSvarim HaKadoshim is brought down, I assume he means, the Kabbalistic ideas. Shalakol Echad Ve'echad Mishishim Rubo Nishmos Yisrael, because out of each one of the 600,000 neshamas of the Jewish people, Yesh Os Achas B'Torah, this famous idea, they are connected to Torah. HaTorah Hi Kalal, so here you go, Brian, this is what he's telling you. In the Torah itself, you will find Gilui Ratzon Hashem Yisbarach Ba'olam. The Torah is the revelation of Hashem's will in this world. So Os B'Torah, so what does a letter in the Torah mean? Bechina Mesuyemes, in a certain respect, Giluyim Elu. Each Jew is revealing godliness in the world, because the Torah as a whole is a revelation of godliness in the world, and each Jew representing one of those letters is a revelation of godliness into the world. So he says, Kasher mitztarefes, kama v'kama osu. So now when you put together the different letters, I guess, i.e. the Jews as a whole, nasa mizet tevo, so then you start creating words rather. And then you have psukim, hamagalim inyonim shleimim b'Torah. So again, one letter is a certain revelation of godliness in the world, but then you get words, and then you're getting sentences, which are on a different level of godliness in the world. Hagilu sheyotzi mitzirufei ha'osio. So this revelation that's going to come through the connecting of the letters into the words and into the sentences, enu mivate et sikum mispara os. Again, like he's trying to point out, it's not just a count of the number of letters you get in there. If there are, 20 letters in a sentence, it's not just 20 letters. That's not what it is. Elohu b'china gilui chadash. It's a completely different revelation. Shel eichos harbe yoter, more on a much higher level than just a letter. If you just look at the letters are one thing, but then when you put it together, you're getting a whole different revelation. He says, Kain hu, so too, he says, b'hisached gilui hayechidim. The revelation of individuals, like Avram Avinu did when he revealed the awareness of God in the world, that's on an individual level. So when you start putting them together, l'kol echad tafkido hamayuchad, when you start putting together each individual, when each person will fulfill his unique role, begili kvod shemayim, to reveal the honor of Hashem, l'shem milui tafkid zeh, in order to fulfill that role. Kibel es mezik kochos. Again, this is also a famous idea. Each Jew has a unique role to play. We have certain things we do all together as a common, but there are certain things that we need to do uniquely. And that's why Hashem gave each individual unique strengths and weaknesses. No two people are the same on any level. Right? So each one got a mezik kochosav umigdosav called Caleb. He got everything he needs. Every individual has an exact measurement of what he needs for himself to do. Now, don't ask me what your role is, because I don't even know my own. I'm still figuring it out. I'm not sure if I should go to Hollywood or not. I still haven't thought that one out. But Tarav kol hagiluyim shel kol hayechidim. So when you put together all of these revelations of the individuals of the Jewish people, harez a gilui chadash. It's a new revelation, miyuchad, unique, v'nifla, awesome, shel kiddush shmo yisborach. Right? It's like So, to some degree, it's like Rashi brings down in the Chumash when he talks about how the nations of the world, when they'll come to Eretz Yisrael and they'll see the Jews all serving Hashem, it will automatically turn the world over, and they'll see the Shekhinah. It's like, on a certain level, as our Rabbi Miller used to point out, knows what was Shlomo's plan. Shlomo Melech wanted to change the world. He wanted to he wanted to bring the world to its perfection. One of the ways he did it was by marrying the princesses of all the different nations, because by doing that, you would have an influence on all the different nations in the world. And because Shlomo felt that he was on such a level that he would be able to have such a strong impact on them, that he felt that he was up to that test. And Rabbi Miller's expression was, it almost worked. Again, almost, it didn't, but but that was Shlomo's attempt. He wanted to impact the entire world with the awareness of Hashem, and that was his agenda. He felt that through his kochos, he was able to do that. But that's going to be Klal Yisrael's objective as a nation, which we'll see as we continue now. Hatikun shel tachlis habriya, the perfection of creation, reaching its end goal of the klal, like of the group. Huschal al yedei shnei asar shvatim. This begins. He's telling us. Oh, went way over time. I'm sorry, all of my zealousness over here. I don't like to do that. I don't want to keep you on overtime. That's not good. Fine. So we will continue. If you're up to this, if this is what you boys want to do, you're not just boys, whatever. Then we'll continue with it. Let me know if you prefer not. If not, we'll pick up from here tomorrow, and then he's going to bring, the different exiles and the Churban, etc., as we were dealing with the Mea Matzarim. Okay. Any questions?
So what's the halacha l'maisa?
Well, I'm sorry.
What's the halacha l'maisa from this?
Halacha l'maisa, be a good Jew. That's the halacha l'maisa.
What if you know someone who's not a good Jew? Like
you try to be a good you try to be a role model that they'll want to be like you. Some people who see good things, they want to emulate good things. People have a natural, just like if someone who's popular, right? Everybody wants to be like that popular person. If someone is someone out there that creates, again, like it says in Pirkei Avos, you have to be someone that makes a Kiddush Hashem and that people look up to you too. You have to do something that people want to look up to you. And if you'll be a proper role model, then you're certainly doing what you need to do. You can't force somebody to do something, but you certainly should try to be a proper role model that would want to inspire someone to be that way. I think that's
You were talking about how the current exile that we're in right now, on a positive note, has to do with us influencing the world around us to make them into better people, right? Better world.
recognizing Hashem. Yeah, that's correct. Right. Okay. Right.
But isn't that, wouldn't you say that that's the whole purpose of the world to begin with? Like, not just necessarily.
Yeah, you're right. Well, again, because we didn't do things the way we were supposed to, we have to go now out into the exile. It would have been a much, a different way had we stayed in Eretz Yisrael, and they would have come to us rather than us having to go out to them.
But the ultimate goal, anyways, is the ultimate purpose of the Jewish nation is to influence the world and to make the world a better place.
100%. Yes, that is correct.
So being the chosen people, quote unquote, is not for us to just look at each other and say, hey, we're the chosen people. We're chosen to do this avoda, to bring people in.
That's correct. It's an obligation. It's not a correct. Right? That's right.
Beautiful, Rabbi.
Yeah. Okay. We'll continue with the piece tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. Okie doke.
Awesome.
Okay. Have a wonderful day, boys. Enjoy. Okay.